All right, what is up, everybody? Welcome to episode 2 of the Merry Chat podcast. This is my E3 2019 special. This is the big E3 special that I've been hyping up. Thank you for watching my E3 coverage all week on the Merry Chat series, the regular Merry Chat mini series. Go back and you can find all the actual recaps and highlights of all the press conferences. This is going to be a special where we actually do a little bit of a highlight reel off of each one, the best of each press conference. But if you want to know them in full, you could go back to the Merry Chat series and watch them. I cover each one. And then what we're going to do is, in this podcast, we are going to be reading comments. We're going to be answering subscriber questions. And we are going to be doing my annual that I've been doing since the very beginning of YouTube, since the beginning of covering E3. We're going to be covering the game of the show and who won E3. And I know a lot of people are saying on Twitter, I was reading comments, oh, I hate that, who won E3 is bullshit. Why is it a competition? It's not a competition. We all win as the gamers. You're absolutely correct. We do all win as the gamers. But trust me, it's a competition. I don't think Microsoft, or Mark Cerny or Sony is over there, or Sean Layden from Sony is over there going, yeah. I hope Microsoft succeeds today. I hope everybody doesn't buy the PS5 and buys the Scarlet when it comes out. Yeah, go Microsoft. I don't think that's happening. Believe me, it's very competitive, and E3 is very competitive. Trust me. Everybody's cutting each other's throat. It's a time of year where everybody gets together and they're just gamers. But trust me, from a business standpoint, everybody wants to be on top. But you're right. As a gamer, we all do win. We have choices. We can play everything. We have options. So there you go. But I'm gonna do it. So if that's not your kind of thing, who won E3? Well, then you can all go suck my ass. Because a lot of people do it, all right? And it's fun. It's just for fun. It doesn't mean a damn thing. Every single body's got their own opinion, just like, you know the saying. So, just like my Game of the Year awards at the end of the year. It's opinion. Just like the Game of the Year awards, like Jeff Keighley does, the big Game of the Year awards, the official Game of the Year awards. That's all opinion. They state it like just because it's the official Game of the Year awards, it's fact. It's not. It's not fact. It's opinion. If you feel that there's a game that's your Game of the Year, and you feel that that's a personal game to you and it meant a lot to you, even if it's a game that everybody hates, nobody can take that away from you. That's your Game of the Year then. Just like if you had a conference that meant a lot to you, nobody can take that conference away from you. If that conference stood out to you, that's your personal pick. These are my personal picks. There is no winner. So there you go. But I'm going to rate them anyway. From least to best. Those of you that have been following me for many years, know that the least placed winner gets an award. That's right. The last place E3 winner does get an award. It's called the Stink Award. The Murray NJ08 Stink Award. And we know who is notorious for getting the Stink Award. And that's what makes this turnaround and this year even more interesting than that. Because I'm going to tell you right now, the Stink Award usually goes to Square Enix. Yeah. So let that sink in. Massive fan of Square, massive fan of their products and their games and their work. Horrible fan of their shows and presentations. But let's just say, hats off. They definitely redeemed themselves. That's all I'm going to say. more than redeemed themselves. Great job. I wish some other people would listen. EA. So, yeah, go back and watch my previous years of E3. They're pretty interesting. Every year, it's interesting how it can turn, how it's different. You know, each winner is different each year. These press conferences really do change from year to year. And, you know, a lot of people are talking about what a lackluster year this was and how this is a transition year. I say this every time a console generation is ending and a new one is beginning. We are ready to get into a new console generation with new systems coming out. But you can bet your boots that next E3 is going to be insane. Actually, the following E3 is going to be even more better because we'll have a year already or a few months already with the systems, and that 2021 E3 is going to be the best E3. But next year as a whole for games, even PS4 and Xbox One, it's going to be the best year. I believe 2020 is going to be the year for gamers. Last gen, or this gen, and next gen, with Halo Infinite coming out. Next year is going to be the year for gamers, in my personal opinion. But we still got some heavy hitters this year. Don't put this year out. Trust me. We got some great Switch titles coming out this year. And we still have some current gen games coming out in 2019. So don't put this year off. But next year is going to be freaking bonkers. I'm saying it now. Look at the titles that we got during this E3 of what's coming out in 2020. Think about it. They're going to be potentially masterpieces, a lot of them. So, and even Switch games. So I'm really, really excited. I couldn't be as a gamer. What a time to be a gamer. What a time to be a gamer. Think about it. What a time to be a gamer. Seriously. What a time to be a gamer. Whoa. Well, somebody is reminding me that I don't have my hat on and my hair looks terrible. Hold on. Not that I care. It's not like I'm Kelly Ripa. I should have put my Mario Odyssey hat on. Yeah, what a time to be a gamer. So, I'm going to sum up the EA conference in one word. If you call it a conference, which it really wasn't. Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order. Well, it's more than one word. Amazing game. Awesome game. Looking forward to it. Game looks stunning. It piqued my interest tremendously. Yeah. Piqued my interest tremendously. And I am looking forward to this game. Pretty much what this was it was mostly games that they showed with little kind of, stage interviews in between. It was almost like a digital direct with a live audience, with a stage. And I think it was mostly because they knew they didn't have a lot to show. Because here's the list. Other than Star Wars, they had Apex Legends, Battlefield 5, FIFA 20, Madden 20, and The Sims 4. So mostly older games with updated content, which is fine. I'm all for that. But definitely didn't hold for a press conference. But I don't think this was really needed. They didn't really even need to do what they did. They could have just did like a 10-minute... Really, if you watched the gameplay of Star Wars, that's all you needed to see. They could have summed this up in a 10-minute little clip on YouTube. To me, it was a waste. They had horrible freaking hosts that did nothing but scream. They had horrible interviews. You couldn't even freaking hear the interview. Vince Zampella is who I wanted to hear from during this whole interview, and you couldn't even, poor guy couldn't even get a word out in edgewise because of the annoying host. I don't know, EA. I can't figure you out. From year after year, it seems like you get worse. And it ain't even the games that are suffering. It's just the presentation. Again, when I'm rating these, I'm not rating them on games. Because if I was rating them just solely on games, Square Enix would never get the Stink Award. Because I love Square Enix games. It's also about the presentation and the way that you present yourself. It all has to come into factor. You can have all AAA games. But I'm rating these also on the show. I'm rating them on the presentation and the stage presence, or the direct or the digital stream. However you presented your show, you're not excluded. But how you presented your show has to be rated. And I don't know. It just didn't do it for me. I mean, Sims 4, even if it was your type of thing, you could have found this out in a trailer. You know what I mean? They didn't have to have it whole. And the problem with this event was the way they structured it, how long it was, and how there was time in between each game, and how it wasn't fluent like a Nintendo Direct. You had to wait and sit and wait for the next game, and there was time in between, and it was just a lot of hubbub, and I don't think it was good. And if you were waiting, say you were waiting for like Madden at the end of the list, or FIFA, you had to sit through all these other games and interviews and baloney and pans of the audience. Like, you really want to see that. You really didn't have to. You made the viewers waste their whole day just watching EA. And I don't think that was good. My opinion. It could have been done better. I'd rather them just do a full-on stage presentation. Really. A full-on press conference. It would have been better, in my opinion. Or just do a straight digital stream like Nintendo. Either one. Don't do this middle hybrid kind of presentation. It didn't work. It could have maybe, but not the way they did it. Bethesda. A lot of people had a problem with this conference. I didn't. Sorry. I thought this conference was good. I mean, okay, if you're not a fan of Fallout 76, okay, fine. I love that game, and let me tell you something, they're fixing a lot in that game. And that game does have people saying the game is dead, it's a washout. Far from it. The game actually has a thriving community. When they have these live public events, the events are always full. I'm not just talking about now because there's a free trial going on. I'm talking about way before this. There's a Battle Royale mode that's actually fun. I played it last night. I had a lot of fun with it. I absolutely love building my camp and getting items and crafting items and taking my time and crafting and building my actual camp. Doing co-op and having fun with people. I just messed my notes up here. I'm using the Apple Pen on my iPad Pro. Oh God, I love this thing during E3. You don't know how helpful this combo is. I'm using an app called Notability. It's an awesome app. I have to review it on my channel. So I mean, yeah, Fallout 76. They're they're really addressing a lot of issues and they're updating the content. Hats off to Bethesda for that. Yeah, they talked a lot about mobile stuff. I mean, Blade's coming to Switch. Progress carries over. There are NPCs coming to the game, and they are quest givers. That's huge. So if you're already a big fan of Fallout 76, that's huge. And if you're not because of that reason, that's a good reason to jump into the game. I think one of the big things about this press conference that people were upset about was that they didn't talk about Starfield or Elder Scrolls 6, and I knew they weren't gonna. And let me tell you something. They're skipping a generation. They're waiting for the next-gen consoles. These games are far from being done. They're being developed. I think we're hearing this about a lot of big games that we're waiting for. We're getting that, hey, there are no shows this year. Yeah, there are no shows because, they're going to be on the next consoles. And I'm sure we'll be hearing a lot about them next E3, but I knew going into this conference that we weren't going to hear about them. And here's the thing about Bethesda, and this is Bethesda every year. First of all, we should be grateful that Bethesda even has a conference, because I really don't think they have to. But with that being said, I think that you have to go into watching this without expecting your mind to be blown. Like, oh my God, Bethesda's going to blow my mind. You know? And that's with a lot of conferences. You know, even like through the years, like with the Nintendo Directs, or not even E3 Nintendo Directs, just throughout the year, like, oh my, I got so hyped, and then I was so let down. Yeah, because you have these ridiculous, unlogical theories of that what's going to happen that you make up in your head, and then it doesn't happen, and then you're upset. You build yourself up so high, unrealistically, and it doesn't happen, and then you get upset. So you can't do that. So they showed a Tango's next game, Ghostwire Tokyo. That looks absolutely insane. They talked about Elder Scrolls Online, Wolfenstein. So, like I said, you can get all the details in my Murray Chat episodes. But basically, the highlight of this show, I was saying this the other day, every press conference this year had a highlight game. Some more than one. This one's highlight game was Doom Eternal. And let me tell you something, my friend. I am freaking stoked for this game. Doom Eternal looks good. And every press conference had their game of show. And Bethesda's was all about Doom Eternal. So they showed a decent amount of gameplay. They showed the online mode, which is called Battle Mode. November 22nd, looking forward to Doom Eternal. Not bad, Bethesda. I didn't think it was bad at all. You know, and Todd Howard came out on stage in the beginning and he basically said, you know, we know we fucked up and all that, and we know you're upset. We're listening to destructive criticism. And all I hear about is these stupid fucking canvas bags that people are worried about. Then when they finally get them in the mail, you know what they're going to do with those canvas bags? They're going to throw them in their closet. And they're never going to look at them again. Ubisoft. I didn't like this conference at all. Love Ubisoft. Again, love their games, love their content, love their creativity, love their work. Hated their show this year. There's always something about an Ubisoft show that I can't stand, but this whole show rubbed me the wrong way. Please, for the love of God, get rid of the fucking dancing panda every year for Just Dance. Show a 2-second stupid trailer for your game. Stop with the fucking dancing panda. And so much filler. To me, this conference felt like going to the dentist for a root canal. It really did. And E3 shouldn't feel that way. Okay, so every press conference, Sean, you said has a highlight game. What was it? Watch Dogs Legion. Watch Dogs Legion blew my fucking mind. Again, you could have just fucking ran a trailer for it. Or a gameplay demo. Without a stupid press conference. This press conference stunk. Watch Dogs Legion. I can't freaking wait to play as a granny. As a 70-year-old grandmother. Golden Girls Squad. 2020. Bitch. Betty White. No, but seriously, Watch Dogs looks insane. I'm a big fan of Watch Dogs 1 and 2. I'm actually going to go and do Watch Dogs 2 on stream soon on the PS4. And probably go and do Watch Dogs 1 again. But I gotta go. I gotta go back and do so many things. But yeah. I mean, again, if you wanted to take one thing up from Ubisoft's press conference this year, it's Watch Dogs. Ghost Recon Breakpoint, that looks really cool. Uplay Plus coming to Stadia, Google Stadia. We're gonna talk about cloud gaming in general and Google Stadia in a little bit. I'm gonna definitely talk about that and my take on it. And the future, which I think is big in gaming. I'm a big believer in cloud gaming. In some ways, I don't think it's there yet, but I think it's gonna get there in time. Roller Champions was shown. There's a demo at the booth. And the big takeaway from this was that the creators of Assassin's Creed Odyssey are working on a game called Gods and Monsters. coming out February 25th, 2020. Okay? All right. Moving along. Let's go right into Microsoft. I thought Microsoft overall had a really good conference. Those of you who know, Microsoft usually scores pretty high on my E3 list of who won E3. They won my last E3. I give credit where credit's due. They did have some rough patches in past recent years at E3. There was some E3 shows of mine where they did terrible. I'm fair. I tell it like it is. But when they're bad, I tell it. When they're good, I tell it. I'm a huge fan of Microsoft. And I thought this year was good. I know a lot of people were saying it was terrible. I don't know how you could say that. And I guess one of the big takeaways is, or one of the problems that people had, was that a lot of the trailers were cinematic. They weren't actual gameplay trailers. I could understand that. But, they're in a transition, stage 2. Which is why I think Sony didn't have a press conference this year, because of the PS5. But, they gave people an insight of what's coming. The takeaway from this show was Halo Infinite. It is coming on next gen. And even though they didn't really go into big detail, because the system ain't even built yet, it's early production, the Xbox Scarlet was one of the big announcements. Always the announcement of a new console. And, it's coming. We knew it was coming. So I guess it really wasn't like a big announcement, because game console announcements are different today than they were back in the day. Back in the day when they said the PlayStation 2 is coming, the GameCube is coming, the Dreamcast is coming. It's like, oh my God. We know there's always another iteration of a console, and it's not really about graphics anymore. It's more about power. What can power the existing games better? It's all about RAM now. It's all about CPU power. It's all about freaking ray tracing and cloud gaming now, and fog effects, and how fast the loading screens are. That's really what it's about now. PlayStation 5 and Xbox Scarlet are pretty much on par with, as far as their specs. They are pretty much the same. Do you ever remember consoles really being that different? They've always been pretty much the same level as competition. They're using an AMD processor, 120 frames per second, ray tracing, GDR6, VR RAM. They're going to use the xCloud features for cloud gaming. We don't know about the optical drive yet, and the Xbox One backwards compatibility. I would imagine, because the PlayStation 5 announced it's backwards compatible with PS4 with an optical drive. So I would imagine that they're going to compete with PS5 and do that. There may be, people are speculating there's going to be 2 versions of the console, an all digital version like they did with the Xbox One, and a premium version with an optical drive. What else? Halo Infinite is going to be launching as a launch title with the console. I think that's a huge selling point for the new console. I think that's going to be huge. 8K capabilities of streaming, 4 times more powerful than the X, 40 times the loading times, seamless gameplay, no loading, most immersive experience ever. Holiday 2020 with launching alongside with Halo Infinite, and I'm sure many others. Probably the next Forza, probably Motorsport 8. That's why we didn't hear about Forza. Yeah. What else? A lot of games. They got Ninja Theory working with them. Dying Light 2 was shown coming 2020. There's a Forza Horizon 4 Lego expansion. Gears 5. A lot of information on Gears 5 coming out September 10th. They showed escape mode. Dragon Ball Project Z was shown. Microsoft Flight Simulator. They showed Battletoads, which I was looking forward to. And I guess one of the big highlights of the show was Keanu Reeves coming out. He's going to be a cyberpunk. Very cool. I thought Microsoft did a good job. You know what? He mentioned that they're going to be showing 60 games during the show. Will of the Wisps is coming February 2020. Oh, Bleeding Edge world premiere by Ninja Theory. Outer Worlds, October 25th. So, yeah, as good as other previous years recently, Microsoft. You'll see in my results here, but you know, it's a tough transition year. It's a tough year. It's a difficult year. But I don't think Microsoft did bad at all. I think Microsoft basically did what they could for this year and showed what they could show, you know, with what they know and what they were able to show. Hey, listen, I'll be buying Scarlet day one, and I'll be pre-ordering that along with Halo. And Halo Infinite is going to be, I think Halo Infinite is going to be insane. Really insane. I really do. I hope I'm wrong, but I have a theory that the same thing is going to happen with the PS5 with The Last of Us 2. I think a lot of these games that we're waiting on, these big games, are going to be next-gen launch titles. But we'll see. I'm surprised Death Stranding isn't. And I wonder how that's going to happen now. You know, they're going to get like enhanced versions. Are you going to be able to use the existing version on the new console and it's just going to be like enhanced or upscaled? Are they going to re-release it like The Last of Us came out shortly after on the PS4? You know what I mean? There's so many questions. You know, is everything going to transition over from your old console to your new console? A lot of questions. I guess we're going to find out a lot next year. Next year is going to be a mad overload of information on these next-gen consoles. And I don't think they're going to just wait for E3. I think we're going to have press conferences before E3. And also after E3, I think. And I think they're going to be probably both around holiday. I think PS5 also. I think they're going to be competitive with each other and released during the same time frame. As I remember, the PS4 and Xbox One was around the same time. It wasn't that far apart. Same with Square Enix. Wow. You know, I think Square Enix really, really outdid themselves. I was talking about my previous E3 reviews on Square Enix. They definitely did a 360. Their game of show was pretty much Final Fantasy VII Remake. That game looks absolutely gorgeous. That game looks absolutely stunning. You have no freaking idea how much I want to play that game. I just want to play that game. Seriously, I just want to get it in my hands. I've actually went on my 4K TV and watched the unedited, you know, trailers and extended gameplay with my surround sound. It just looks so good. It looks so damn good. Life is Strange 2 was shown. Final Fantasy Chronicles. There was like 1,000 Final Fantasies announced. Octopath on Steam, The Last Remnant, Dragon Quest Builders 2, Dragon Quest coming to Switch, Battalion, Kingdom Hearts 3 DLC, Remind. Big fan of Kingdom Hearts, one of my favorite games this year. From the creators of Gears of War Judgment, Outriders, Summer 2020 looks really good. Final Fantasy VIII Remastered. And then I said every press conference pretty much had their game of show. Theirs was also, aside from Final Fantasy VII Remake, Marvel Avengers. We knew about this game for a long time. We've been waiting to hear about it. Yeah. I can't wait. May 15th, 2020. Oh boy. Damn. I cannot freaking wait for that game. That game looks bonkers. Yeah. Marvel Avengers. Still don't really know like what the actual game is about or the gameplay. But I'm interested. Troy Baker, Nolan North. The game is going to be updated constantly. No microtransactions, no loot boxes. Take that with a grain of salt. They know how to reword things. Free content, free heroes. Just hope it doesn't come out as an incomplete game. Come out as a complete game and then give us free content. You know, you have to really be careful of how things are worded nowadays. Remember Randy Pitchford even came out and said, no microtransactions, no loot boxes, and then some guy right behind him was like, that's not necessarily true. But, you know, we'll see. We'll see. Too early to tell. Square Enix, you did good this year, guys. I gave you crap past few years. You did good. You done good on the Murray and J08 scale. Let's see. So Nintendo, the big N. They kill it with their directs. This year was no different. Amazing direct, I put. They know how to do a direct. Yeah, I miss their stage shows. I do. I miss their stage shows. I miss Reggie. My body is ready. But you know what? They did awesome. Doug Bowser did great. I watched the Treehouse afterwards with him. The Treehouse is awesome. If you ever guys watch the Treehouse after the direct, that's still freaking great. I get more excited actually about the Treehouse than the directs. Yeah, the direct was awesome. Bam Bam. More freaking Smash Bros. DLC announcements. Pretty much the hero from Dragon Quest and Banjo-Kazooie. What a way to freaking end the show. Well, not end it, but towards the end. Awesome. Really cool announcements. Really cool ports coming to the Switch. The Switcher, a.k.a. The Witcher. The Witcher 3 is coming to the Switch. I play the Skyrim almost every day on the go. I absolutely love Skyrim. I never stopped playing Skyrim since the 360. So I could just imagine how The Witcher is going to be. I don't mind the degrade in if I want to play the game in full resolution, I play it on my Xbox One X. This is going to be my on the go. Kind of like what I'm doing currently now with Mortal Kombat 11. Doug Bowser did a little funny intro introducing himself to the Nintendo family with Bowser behind him. That was kind of cool. Luigi's Mansion 3 is up next. They showed that coming 2019. No definitive release date yet. They show Link's Awakening. I put freaking unbelievable, mind-blowing. September 20th. I just can't wait for that game. That game really reminds me a lot of Link to the Past, which I'm just going to tell you right now is my favorite game of all time. I can't wait for Link's Awakening. I can't wait. Trials of Mana, Resident Evil trailer was showing a really strange trailer. But basically it was to announce 5 and 6 is coming. So pretty much all the, almost all of them, Resident Evils are coming to Nintendo. Panzer Dragoon, Demon X Machina, talking about Pokemon Sword and Shield. Not too much because they had their own direct for that. Astral Chain was shown, can't wait for that. Marvel Alliance 3, can't wait for that. Cadence of Hyrule, can't wait for that. Mario and Sonic at the Olympics was shown, coming to Switch. And then my highlight of the show, the Nook Charter Ink Flight is landing. And I put Animal fucking Crossing. Don't mind me, I'm a massive, obsessed fan of Animal Crossing. The bummer that I got from this, the sad bummer that I was almost in tears, it is delayed. He put, unfortunately, have to wait a little longer. New Horizons is the name, March 20th, 2020. But I know it's going to be a quality game, and I know it's going to be worth the wait. It's just, I thought I was going to have it this year. And it pretty much ended with the next sequel to Zelda Breath of the Wild, now in development. How you like them apples? So, amazing direct. So, yeah. Let me see here. Let me check my notes. I want to read a comment real quick that's on one of my Merry Chat E3 coverages. This is on my Square Enix Conference and Nintendo Direct recap. Got a comment here from Maddie B. Yeah, this year's E3 is extremely hard to put on a scale. Agreed. But the announcements of Breath of the Wild 2 is what got me the most excited. 100% Maddie B, 100% agree. Couldn't have said it better. 100% my thoughts. So, I'm going to talk about, I'll do that first. I'll talk about cloud gaming. So even Bethesda got into this cloud gaming business with, I guess they're calling it Orion, but Google Stadia did a press conference. I didn't add them in here because they kind of did their own thing, but I watched it. I actually rewatched it a couple times. I am getting the Stadia. I'm actually going to be doing a giveaway. I'm getting the Founders Bundle, and basically, it's you don't have to have any hardware to run it. It's basically streaming from a data center that Google's going to have on their systems in their offices, and you're streaming it to pretty much any device using no hardware. So you can stream it to your phone, your mobile device, your television. They do have their own dedicated controller. You can get a Chromecast in the Founders Bundle. They are going to give you a copy of Destiny for free. 3 months of Stadia Pro. Basically, you can play for free. You don't have to have a subscription to Stadia. You do have to buy the games. The difference is that from what I'm to understand, you have to buy the Stadia Pro, which is $10 a month. You get 3 months free, because you will not be able to stream in 4K, only 1080p, with Stadia Basic, or Stadia Base, they're calling it. So Stadia Pro, that's the benefit. The other benefit is it's kind of like Xbox Live and PlayStation Plus. I guess you're going to be able to get some free games each month, and basically that's what it is. Now the kicker is that sure, you don't have to have any hardware, but you do have to have good internet. And I know there's some countries that have terrible internet. It says here, 10 megabits per second for 720, 20 megabits per second for 1080p, and 30 to 35 megabits per second for 4K. So there you go. It's not too taxing. It's not too bad. But, for some people it may be. So you have to take that into account. Now, as opposed to that, with cloud gaming, with xCloud, on what Microsoft is going to be doing on the Xbox One and also their new system, they give you a little bit of options. Now, it's going to be completely free, but also, what I like about this is that you don't necessarily have to be far away and rely on a data center. It's not just where you don't own the game. Like with Stadia, there's no game. You don't own nothing. You're streaming it. You buy the game full price, which I think is a stinker. $60 for Borderlands 3, and you don't own it. You're streaming it. There's no digital copy. There's nothing on a hard drive. There's nothing to play offline. You're relying on a data center. Whereas with Xbox, even if you download the game digitally, you have the option to stream it on your phone, tablet, but you could actually stream it from your Xbox. So if you're in your bedroom down the hall and you're streaming it from your living room, that's not as bad as streaming it from a faraway data center. So Xbox kind of gives you the local option and the option to stream it through the cloud, but from your Xbox of the game you own. I kind of like that. Xbox is giving you a little bit of an option there, whereas Stadia is full streaming, full data center. And then, however, Bethesda is going to be doing it with the, Orion, or whatever they're calling it. So I guess we're going to find out more about that. It's definitely the future of gaming. I just think that with internet connections and the pricing with Google Stadia, I think the pricing of Google Stadia is excellent with Stadia Base being free and the Founders Bundle being like $129 for the Chromecast, the 3 months free, the Destiny expansion, and the controller. $129 is excellent. The problem is $60 for a game that you don't have in your hand or don't even have on a hard drive. That's the problem I'm having. I was telling a friend, it's almost like we're having a discussion over the phone. It's almost like paying a subscription to Netflix and then also paying full price for the movie when you watch it. I mean, really, think about it. Even though there's Stadia based where you could pay for nothing for this service and then pay for the game. But still, not if you want to stream it in 4K. What if you spent all that money on a television? You're only going to be able to, on Stadia base, output that game that you paid $60 for. You're only going to be able to output it 720 or 1080p at the most. And that's also depending on your internet. So there's a lot to think about. There's a lot of things to think about. I'm going to do something really quick here, guys, because like an idiot, I wrote my list down on my phone. I'm using my phone right now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do my list real quick here. What am I doing here? Okay. Oh, good. My stupid dehumidifier went off. Let's see. Oh, I got some questions too. I'm gonna read some questions, some good questions. Okay. Tammy Gamer Girl says, if you could play one game at an EA booth, what would it be this year? Oh, one game? Link's Awakening. Yeah, Link's Awakening. I'm going to cheat, and I'm going to say second, Final Fantasy VII Remake. Third, no, I should. All right, no, I take that back. First would be Final Fantasy VII Remake, Link's Awakening, Watch Dogs Legion. I'm going to give you a fourth, Luigi's Mansion 3. I'm going to give you a fifth, Cyberpunk. Definitely. You know, if I was at E3, I would play every single freaking game I could at a booth. I would try to get to every single booth. But yeah, Final Fantasy VII Remake, I couldn't pass that up. No. Not after what I seen at the Square Enix booth, at the Square Enix show. No. I couldn't pass that up. No way. Alright, guys. Are you ready? My game, my E3, who won E3 2019 is, in order from least to best from the winner. Alright, so, you know, every year when you watch my show, the last place winner gets the Stink Award. This year, the Stink Award goes to EA. Good job, EA. You got the Stink Award this year. Wow. How about it, EA? Hats off. Electronic Arts, EA, got the Stink Award. God, EA, that was terrible. That was like having constant diarrhea on the toilet, not being able to get off. That's what it felt like. It really felt like not being able to get off the toilet and having like a lot to do. It was horrible. It was definitely horrible. They got to, I don't know, man. You would think after every year, it seems like a lot of these companies are going back and really taking the, constructive criticism and really turning it around. Not EA. To me, it seems like they keep getting worse. I mean, wow. You got the Stink Award, EA. Next up, Ubisoft. And let me tell you something. If it wasn't for EA, Ubisoft really should have got this Stink Award. I wish I could give 2 Stink Awards, but I don't think it's fair to EA. Ubisoft, I don't know. I just didn't like it. The whole structure. The games were good. Again, no problem with the content. The show was terrible. It was pure stink. But not as stinky as the Stink Award. Up next, now we're getting into the good ones, Up next, Bethesda. Good conference. Good average conference. I was happy with it. Up next, Microsoft. All right, Microsoft has been doing really good. They won my last award. I went into this conference thinking that Microsoft was going to win this year for me. But, they did what they could. I think they did a good job. And you know what? Let me just say something right now. Phil Spencer is fucking awesome. I love that guy to death. Microsoft is so lucky to have him. Phil Spencer is a class act guy. He's so great to have in the gaming community. He's just a great guy. I love listening to him. I love watching interviews with him. He's a gamer. He's got such respect for other gaming companies. He's a really awesome dude. And he brings a lot to the table, and he's very knowledgeable. So I think Microsoft did great this year. Great job, Microsoft. I'm super proud of you. And I can't wait for your next console. And I can't wait for your games. And I can't wait, to play your next experiences. Big fan. Next up. Oh, I shouldn't do it this way. Okay, so we have two are left. So drum roll. Because the winner and the second we'll figure out. This is close, guys. Let me tell you, this is a nail biter. I was thinking about this all night. So just so you know, this could have went either way. And the way that this could have went compared to what I said last year, it's pretty big. The turnaround. Just think about it. So it really goes to show you how things can change in a year. But, to go with my heart, I say this every year, the winner, who won E3 2019 is Nintendo. Hats off to the big N. I thought that Nintendo Direct was freaking awesome. Second place is Square Enix. Hey, listen, Square, you got the Stink Award last year. So, here's to Square. You did great. You freaking turned around and you did your homework and you fucking put on a great show. But Nintendo, I'm giving it to you. I thought Nintendo did awesome. I really, really did. I was almost going to give it to Square. But those Nintendo games really freaking got me. But damn, Square showed off some freaking great games. And my E3 Game of Show? Oh boy. Are you ready? Third place is Cyberpunk 2077. Awesome game. Looks sick. I can't wait to play it. The second place, Link's Awakening. And my game of show is none other than Final Fantasy VII Remake. Come on. It's insane. The game is insane. It's insane. Absolutely insane. Listen, guys, I said this in my other video. Take the time and watch some gameplay. Watch the Square Enix presentation. Watch it in high def. Watch it on a big fucking television. It's fucking awesome. I talked about cloud gaming. I did all that. Oh, did I have another subscriber question? Oh, I think I did. Let me see if I can find it. Mark Murphy said, do you still play your Nintendo 3DS? Yeah, I do. I do. Actually, I got to get Kirby's Extra Epic Yarn, which recently came out. Oh, yeah. I play all consoles. Vita, PSP. Oh, I play my 3DS all the time. I'm still playing regularly Pokemon Sun and Moon. And X and Y. Oh, actually, you know what? The other day I was playing Luigi's Mansion, the first one. Detective Pikachu I was playing last week. Just checking real quick. This was a great episode, guys. I had a lot of fun. I hope you guys enjoy it. I know it was big, long, but that's what podcasts are, you know. I know this was going to be my E3 special, so. This is my new area, my new nook, my new desk. I'll be doing all my future podcasts on here, so. You know what? I guess that was it, huh? All right. Thanks, everybody. I'll be seeing you on the next podcast, hopefully soon. We'll be covering more topics. Maybe I'll have a podcast where I just dedicate to comments and questions for you guys, like a Q&A episode. But we'll see. Stay tuned for my mini-series, Merry Chat. I always have up-to-date info on there on news updates and topics. Take care, everybody. Happy E3. It was fun. I loved covering it for you guys. That's why I do this every year. It's a fun time. I call it Christmas for gamers. We got a lot coming. Next year's going to be insane. Take care, everybody. See you soon. I really do love you guys. I do. You guys are awesome.